Say hi to everybody? You want to say hi to everybody? Oh. Okay. Alright. Lay down. Good boy. What is up, folk nerds? My name is Hillary and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing my TBR for the month of September. I know it's been a while since I've been on here, but like I said last month, I think I just wanted to feel like I was ready to film more. But now, since my kids are finally in the rhythm of school and I got my youngest into preschool, I feel like I have more time now, a couple hours a day. I can film videos and get them done and edited in the evening. So this month I am going to be doing You done? Okay. This month I'm going to be doing Battle of the Readathon or Battleathon, and it is hosted by Mel. I will link her channel down in the description. I am so excited for this. It is all about, it revolves around dragons, and so you have teams and you have to fill certain prompts, get some bonus points on certain prompts, and then the rest of it is based on your star rating. So I will link her announcement video down in the description, so if you want to go and check it out. I'm excited. I'm hoping some of you are going to join and have a blast, because I know I'm going to. It just sounds so much fun. And so I for sure will read 3 of the books on this pile for certain prompts, and then the rest are just filler books for ones that I really want to read, and I'm hoping that they're 5-star reads. And I know 2 of them are going to be rereads for me. But yeah, I have probably about like 7 books here, and I'm hoping to get to all of them. But if I don't, it's not a big deal. I've been mood reading a lot lately. But yeah, so let's get into what I plan on reading for the month of September. And my first book that I am so excited for to start off with bonding with your dragon, I'm going to be reading Zodiac Academy: The Awakening, because I am on the Green Dragon team, and to bond with your dragon you have to read a book that has a school setting in it, and Zodiac Academy has a school setting in it, and I've heard great things about this. I'll read the back of it for you because it's been a while since I've heard much about this book series. So it says, I'm a Gemini, impulsive, curious, headstrong, a twin, heir to a throne. I know nothing about it. Turns out, and it turns out I'm Fae. But of course, there's a catch. All I have to do is claim my birthright But of course, there's a catch. All I have to do to claim my birthright is prove that I'm the most powerful supernatural in the whole of Solaria. And sure, technically, that's true, as I'm the daughter of the Savage King. But the bit they didn't put in the brochure was that every single Fae in the kingdom would claim my throne if they could. My biggest problem is the drool-worthy dragon shifter who has his eyes on my throne. He and his 3 psycho friends are determined to make my time here hell. All I've got to do is survive. But fate might have other ideas. Damn it, why couldn't I have gotten a letter to Hogwarts? That last line kind of made me laugh. But I'm excited to read this because it has magic in it and Fae, and I love when Fae are part of a book and when it's magical and has all the supernaturals in it, and I'm very excited to read this. I've been wanting to read it for a while. I'm hoping to collect all these books. But yeah, I only have the first one physically, and maybe if I enjoy this one, I will continue on with the series this month and probably just read it on my Kindle for now. But yeah, I'm very excited to get to this one. And like I said, this is for the Bond with Your Dragon prompt, which has a book with a school setting. Then you have another prompt, which is a bonus prompt, and this one can earn you 10 extra points. And for this prompt, I just don't have a book yet because I haven't decided is a library book or from Libby. So what I'll do when I decide if I want to what if I want to, or if I'm ready, or when I'm ready to use this prompt, I'm just going to go on my Libby and find a book on there that I don't own and probably listen to it on audiobook, because I've never done a book on Libby which would ebook style. So I love listening to audiobooks, and I can get a lot more stuff done around my house listening to them. But yeah, that's my plans for the bonus prompt. And then there's a prompt for level up. And the thing with the level up is that you can only use this once in the whole readathon. So I have to figure out when I want to use it. But there's 3 different prompts. I know for sure I have a book, well, 2 books for 2 different prompts. So I'll figure out at that point what book I want to read for it. But one of the prompts is read a book with a red cover. So I decided to choose The Housemaiden's Secret by Frida McFadden. This one is the sequel to The Housemaiden, right? Or The Housemaid. So yeah, this is just The Housemaid's Secret. And this one is, it just says, it's hard to find an employer who doesn't ask too many questions about my past. So I thank my lucky stars that the Garricks miraculously give me a job cleaning their stunning penthouse with views across the city and preparing fancy meals in their shiny kitchen. I can work here for a while, stay quiet until I get what I want. It's almost perfect, but I still haven't met Mrs. Garrick or seen inside the guest bedroom. I'm sure I hear her crying. I notice spots of blood around the neck of her white nightgowns when I'm doing laundry, and one day I can't help but knock on the door. When it gently swings open, what I see inside changes everything. That's when I make a promise. After all, I've done this before. I can protect Mrs. Garrick while keeping my own secrets locked up safe. Douglas Garrick has done wrong. He is going to pay. It's simply a question of how far I'm willing to go. I really enjoyed The Housemaid. I think I gave that one 4 or 5 stars. I have high hopes for this one. And these are the only 2 Frida McFadden books that I own, and I've only read one of her books, obviously. So I am hoping that I really enjoy this, and maybe it'll be a little break. Like, the first one's a fantasy, this can be a thriller, psychological thriller, and just kind of break up some genres in there, because lately I've been reading a lot of romance, which isn't a bad thing. I love romance, but I don't want to get burnt out on it. So I'm glad I figured out a thriller for this prompt. Or I have another fantasy, which I got an arc of in July. It was sent to me. And I actually talked about this book in my August TBR, and I did not get to it, which is okay, because I have a chance to get to it now. And the book that could be another one which has a word of movement in the title would be Linden Falls by Joshua Hershey. Like I said, this was sent to me. I shouldn't say it's an arc because it's not an arc, but the author got a hold of me and asked if I could review this. But it says, Mabel is a rumored witch whose kingdom belongs to Lavian, the serpent. Her people are enslaved in darkness, but everything changes when Mabel discovers a book that transports her to a world of angels and demons. There she wields swords of fire and faces Tannen, a spirit-infested dragon. Mabel sets off to save her people, unaware that she'll find Ava along the way, that mystic lady thrown away in time, and in doing so find herself. Mabel even learns how to break the darkness, but Lavian has different plans. Mabel wants to see her people free, make peace with her past, and start a new life. She wants to be a fighter and protector of the ones she loves. When life becomes a curse, can Mabel end the darkness before destroying herself? This one sounds really good. I have really good hopes for this. Anything I feel like above a 3-star or up for a rating for a book I've never even heard of and stuff is pretty good odds. So yeah, I'm hoping to get to this, and it's shorter, so maybe I'll do this one for the level up prompt and just read The Housemaid's Secret just for fun and to get the extra points for the star rating that I do. So the rest of the books I'm going to be talking about are just ones that I want to read this month and have high hopes for. I think a lot of them are either going to be 4 or 5 stars. But the first book I'm going to be talking about is one that's very well known on BookTube, but hasn't really been talked about in a while. And I found this copy at my library and I love the cover and just read more about what the premise is about, and it just sounds good to me. And that book is Wolf Song by T.J. Klune. I have never read a T.J. Klune book, so I'm excited to start with this one because this one has werewolves in it and kind of like a secret family. But yeah, I am very excited to get to this one, and I think this one has a very, very good chance of getting a 5-star from me. The next book is a romance, and I just wanted to throw a romance in here just to break up some of like the fantasy and thriller and all that. I don't want to get in a reading slump, and that's what happens sometimes when I read too much of the same genre or whatever. But that book is Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan. I know this I know this has been talked about a little bit on BookTube, and I believe it's a sports romance. But it says, she kissed the prince and he turned into a fraud. Now her fairy tale is upside down. Iris Dupree meets August West in a sports bar during her last semester of college. It's the conversation of a lifetime and sends sparks flying in every direction. The connection is undeniable, but the timing is all wrong. August is poised for the NBA draft, and Iris belongs to another man, basketball's golden boy, and August's longtime rival. The two go their separate ways, but they often recall that electric night and what could have been. While August has embarked on his all-star life studded with wealth and fame, Iris's perfect public relationship has become a nightmare behind closed doors, a tarnished dream of fool's gold. When August re-enters her life, the world seems briefly bright again, but Iris's dark nights are not over yet. To survive, she must build her own strength and trust that her bond with August can endure after all this time, even when her fraudulent prince has vowed never to let her go. This kind of sounds like a second chance romance, even though the main characters in this book never were together. But I'm excited to see what happens in this book. This is actually a thick romance. It's over 450 pages, but it sounds really good, and I'm excited to read this and to see what I think. And the fact that it has basketball in it instead of like hockey, which is what I usually read, is going to be different for me. And I'm excited to see like the friends to lovers aspect, and then the girl has a boyfriend type of thing, and enemies and all that. So yeah, very excited for this one. And this next book, keep moving in this chair, is one that I got right after it came out. I can't remember when it came out, but it is a thick book, and I've been wanting to get to it. And with it starting to become fall time, it's the perfect time to read it, I feel like, because it has vampires in it. And that book is Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. This book is thick. I mean, it's over 600 pages, but looking at it, it just seems a lot thicker. And the text is really small in this book, but it'll be good. I think I might do some physical, some audio, if I can get the audio off of Libby for it. But Empire of the Vampire, what I've heard, it's kind of like Interview with the Vampire. And I started this when I got it, and then I just didn't continue. But now I think I'm ready to continue it and to see what I think. But it says, from holy cup comes holy light. The faithful hand sets world aright. And in the 7 martyrs' sight, mere men shall end this endless night. It has been 27 long years since the last sunrise. For nearly 3 decades, vampires have waged war against humanity, building their eternal empire even as they tear down their own. Now only a few tiny sparks of light endure in a sea of darkness. Gabriel de Leon is a silver saint, a member of a holy brotherhood dedicated to defending Rome and church from the creatures of the night. But even the silver order could not stem the tide once daylight failed us, and now only Gabriel remains. Imprisoned by the very monsters he vowed to destroy, the last silver saint is forced to tell his story. A story of legendary battles and forbidden love, of faith, loss, and friendship. And friendships won, of the wars of the blood and the forever king, and the quest for humanity's last remaining hope, the Holy Grail. This sounds really good, and it has some art in it, which I don't want to show you because I've heard it has spoilers of the book in it. But yeah, I think this is going to be a great one, and just get me more into the vibe for Halloween and all that. And then the last 3 books is a trilogy. I have read the first 2, have never read the 3rd book, but I am ready to reread these and to see what I think, just because I need a refresher on this, even though I remember quite a bit of it. But those books are Kingdom of the Wicked, Kingdom of the Cursed, and Kingdom of the Feared, all by Carrie Maniscalco. I will only tell you what the first book is about, just in case you're like me and haven't read it. So, Kingdom of the Wicked is about this girl, I need to think of her name, named Amelia, and she has a twin sister, and she is taught her whole life never to mess with the 7 deadly gods, and her and her sister are witches. The whole family are witches. And the one day, her twin sister ends up being murdered, so she does a spell, brings a god through, which is Wrath, and she tells him that he has to help her solve her sister's mystery and find out what happened. And it just goes from there. It's fantasy, it has adventure in it, it has opposites attract. I really enjoyed this. I know some people don't, but I really do, and I feel like this is the perfect time to read this one, just because, like I said, with the last book, it's turning into fall, and I'm excited to reread this. I could not get the audiobook for Kingdom of the Wicked because it was months out on a hold, but I did get the audiobooks for the last 2 books in this series, so hopefully I can get the first one read pretty fast and then listen to the last 2 and be done with this trilogy and give you my overall thoughts about them. But yeah, those are all the books I'm hoping to read for the month of September. I am also hoping to do some reading vlogs for the Battleathon and show you my thoughts on some of these books. I'm going to try and keep them spoiler free because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. That's the worst thing I feel like when it comes to reading vlogs. If you spoil a lot of things, unless it's like a super, super old book, then that's okay. But with these being like new within the last couple of years, I don't want to spoil anything, and that's just the worst to me about them. And if I would put any spoilers, I'd give you a time to skip ahead if you haven't read them. But yeah, I am so excited for this month and to see how many books I get read and if I stick with this TBR or if I decide to read other books. And I'm hoping Green Dragons win, so go Green Dragons team and let's kick butt and win this readathon and have the most points and just take it over. And that's it for this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this, hit that like and that subscribe button with that notification bell, and you'll be the first to know when I am posting. And just keep on reading, people. Bye.